Oh, good evening or good afternoon, Trojans. I've just got the live stream to work, I think. Hopefully you're hearing me. Yes, we are. All right. Hello, our Petaluma Trojans just got Healdsburg. Our Petaluma Trojans just got a 1-2-3 inning on the Greyhounds in the top of the first, and we are now headed to the bottom of the first. Danny Marzo's at the plate for the Trojans to lead off the bottom of the first. I'm Griffin Epstein. Thank you so much for joining us live on this beautiful Friday afternoon.
The first inning for your Trojans, left fielder number 12, Danny Marzo.
So Andrikin is on the mound for the Trojans. Had a good first inning, a few flyouts, and now Danny Marzo is here at the plate, and he has been on fire, as have the Trojans. They've won 4 straight games. That ball is low and skips away, and we will try to get the scoreboard up for you. And it is working. There you go in the left-hand corner. Who's the pitcher for Healdsburg? AJ Vasquez, the pitcher for Healdsburg. And 3-0 to Marzo. Trojans won their first game Wednesday, defeating Healdsburg. Three and 1 the count to Marzo. Healdsburg is 5-5 as the season. Marzo rips one right back to the pitcher. I'm sorry, that's going to be out of your screen. I'm headed over right now to run the camera, so we'll have that covered for you. Trojans won the A.L. Ramanovich tournament last week, all 3 games, defeating Sonoma Academy, Montgomery, and impressively Ukiah, one of the top teams in all of the North Bay. And with Porter Slade up, the Trojans are brimming with confidence. They defeated Sonoma in a gritty game 4-1 on Tuesday. However, the Hounds in their first SCO game should give the Trojans a good challenge, as that first pitch is in there for a strike. Healdsburg 5-5, but they've played a solid non-league schedule. Had a bye in their first SCL game. Slate rips one, and that's a base hit into left. And the Trojans are on base early here. Trojans ace is Danny Marzo, but Nick Andrikin has been the star of the show recently, absolutely on fire from the bat. However, the Trojans have depth all over. 11 returning players from last year. That includes Logan Douglas, who's currently at the bat, with 1 down here in the bottom of the first. No score. It's the Petaluma Trojans Varsity Boys Baseball team against the Healdsburg Greyhounds. They're going to throw back to first. Slate's back with ease. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our first baseball live stream of the year. Don't forget to tune in all year long. We're going to have plenty more, and we're also going to be streaming softball games. We'll get some of those dates for you later on today. That's in there for a strike. 1-1. Healdsburg, also an experienced team, many seniors on their squad. And so they have good expectations. That's a beautiful curve by Vasquez, 5'9" junior, 140 pounds. One of the greatest advantages of the Trojans, if you've not been following them as they throw back to Slate, is that they have 7 players that were on the Petaluma Little League World Series team that finished 3rd in the world 5 years ago. As Slate will go, the throw to second, you're obstructed. I'm sorry, that's blurry. Don't know why. But Slate is in there safely in a cloud of dust that obstructed your view. And now it's 2-2 with a runner in scoring position. The Trojans hoping to strike first early here. With 7 players on that team, that is such a vital experience, but it also shows how many talented players on the Trojans. And so they can hit up and down the lineup. 8 seniors. This is down towards the third baseman. He will make the catch. And there's 2 down. Meanwhile, Slate will remain at second, and it's going to be the junior Kempton Brandis at the plate. The Trojans, the favorites to win SCL this year. Last year they were co-champions with Annalee. But the Trojans certainly returned much of their talent this year, so that is very certainly advantageous.
Now batting center fielder number 21, Kempton Brandis.
First pitch is outside to Brandis. Please like this video and feel free to comment in the live chat. Be happy to talk to you. Brandis hits this one sky high to the right fielder, who has at adventure it fell. Wow. That one was up forever, and it somehow fell. Slate will score, and the Trojans lead 1-0. Highly anticlimactic. I didn't even realize it fell. Right fielder having problems with the sun. It's a beautiful day. It's about 75 degrees and a light wind. Nick Andrakin at the bat, and he has been on fire recently. Coach Salvatella of the Trojans saying he has just seen well, and he's ripping at that. Brandis had to scramble back there. He's now got an RBI single. Pretty much everyone on the Trojans has been hitting well. And really helped them. They had a slower start to the season after defeating Redwood, as once again Brandis scrambles back to the bag. Trojans had a slow start to their season. They defeated Redwood in a good game, but then fell to Newman in a crazy extra game. Here goes Brandis in there safely as Trojans have another stolen base. That is how you do it. Levi Yelly, the pitcher, it's not been bad, but he's been let down a little bit by his defense and these stolen bases that are really helping the Trojans. Crush to the shortstop, almost hit Brandis. And that bounces! And at first baseman can't handle it. Another run will score, and it's 2-0. Andrikin gets back to the bag. And another error by the Greyhounds. It was a long throw from short. The first baseman could not handle the bounce. And it's a quick start, and it's 2-0. Richardson, a senior, also on the football team, as the Trojans are off to a very quick start here. Talking about their early season struggles, fell to Newman in a tough 8-inning game where they battled back a crazy game against San Lorenzo, fell 12-11, and then dropped another one to Tam. They got an impressive win against a good Concord team as that ball gets away, but Antrican not intending going before falling to Carrillo 4-2, but then they headed up to the Rabinovich tournament. And things really seemed to change there. They got good bats, but then in the final against Ukiah, facing one of the best pitchers in all of Northern California, they were able to just get enough runs. Now Andrikin will go. This is a good throw. They've got him. Sorry if the ump blocked your view. So the Trojans try to steal 3 times. There's Skessel the first 2 times. They get 2 runs on 2 errors and a hit, and the Trojans will lead 2-0. Sorry. Yeah, I'll be moving in and out. Scoreboard has not been updated, but it is 2-0, and we are already up quickly to 2 viewers. And we will head back onto me here at my set. The music is playing very loudly. But anyways, a very good start for the Trojans. Offensively, they got helped with the Healdsburg defense. Is that working? Yes. So they're gonna look to continue with that. Meanwhile, Andrikin on the mound. He's been playing so well with the bat. He also catches, but he certainly, with the confidence, he must get a lot of confidence from at the plate success, and now he's headed to the mound. He had a really good first inning that that we missed, and now as we get some cloud cover here at Abbey Field, the Trojans will try to continue it in the second. After this game, they're going to be on the road for a bunch. For the Trojans, they believe they can win SCL. They defeated Sonoma, as I mentioned, on Tuesday. Really their other competitors potentially to knock them off the SCL title would be these Healdsburg Greyhounds. and it would possibly be the Annalee Tigers, who will be facing very soon. If there is any problems with the video settings and
Leading off
it's
top
a
half
little
of the second
slow,
inning for the Hounds, second
please do
baseman
tell
number
me.
21, Jake Rapiani.
Don't know. Looks like it might be a little cutty. I will try to work on that at the next end of the bottom, before the bottom of the half of the inning, end of this top half here. Meanwhile, it's Jake Ready for the Greyhounds. This one is fouled off and almost hit someone walking by. So 0-2 already to Ready. It's Andrikin's first start of the year, but he's had some action in relief. It's high. The Greyhounds are going to have to battle back from an early deficit. You have to blame mostly on their defense. Meanwhile, for the Trojans, they really just are brimming with confidence with everything they do. It's been quite a change as Andrikin strikes out Ready with a nice pitch there. And it's now going to be Shane Whittick. Two sophomores on the Greyhounds. As I mentioned, pretty experienced. Trojans with one freshman, Sam Brown. This is popped up. A tough play at first, but the catch is made by Blake Burrer, another alum of the Petaluma National Little League, team that went to the World Series. Pitch is low, and this is Blake Monahan, a senior, and so far Andrikin looks in the zone. 1-0 pitch is high. Behind the plate for the Trojans is Devin Gottschall, junior, also on the basketball team. Plenty of many multi-sport athletes on these Trojans. Looked like he laid down a bunt, pulled back, but it was too late. Now in 2-1. That's low. 2-2. Wind could be a factor, however, it's blowing across the field towards the third base side, so it would only blow balls that way. Not a chance of blowing balls out, as this ball is going to blow foul down the third base line. Trojans give it chase, but no avail. Trojans are 1-0 in SCL. This is Healdsburg's first SCL game. And this one is down the third base line. It's just skipped foul. Richardson's over there at third. The Trojans are ranked 1,766, which might sound like a big number in the whole country, that is. However, it's actually relatively impressive as we have a payoff pitch here, considering you've got about 10,000 baseball teams in the country. This is a very talented team. And a swing and a miss. A great performance once again by Andrikin in the top of the second. And as we move on to the bottom of the second, the Trojans continue to brim with confidence and build some momentum. They'll hope to continue to do that with the bats. And meanwhile, for Healdsburg, they're going to need to work on their defense. This is a Trojan team that certainly works on momentum, and the Greyhounds cannot afford to be giving up runs with ease. As we put it back on me, thank you so much once again for joining us. We will be having more baseball and softball live streams here. However, both teams are going to be on the road for many of their next games, so it could be a few weeks before we have our next stream. Oh, that's the wrong thing. There we go. So we will certainly let you know, though. Tune into our daily morning announcements to find out when our next stream is. But we will also, if you subscribe to the channel, you will receive an email when we go live. So you can rely on that, as it is, that pitch is low to Connor Richardson, the third baseman. And now high, 2-0. This is hammered. Foul. I'm sorry I'm not at the camera right now. And the first baseman's under it for the out. One down. McPherson with the catch. This is the only underclassman on the team, Sam Brown, freshman, and the right fielder. He's quite a talent. Trojans have big things already in store for him. He's already in this lineup as a freshman. That's unheard of. But he is an outstanding player, especially with the bat. And he's only going to develop and turn into an absolute star. That one catches the outside corner. One strike, one down. In the bottom of the second. Trojans lead 2-0 on a beautiful day here, Friday afternoon at Abbey Field. Low. No, I'm sorry, that's in there. Oh, and 2. The friends and can't remember the word. In journalism are currently watching. Give them a hello and hopefully continuing to work hard to get the Trojan Tribune out. That last pitch was low. It will come out this next Tuesday, another wonderful issue with fantastic stories. If you're a student, you'll get that during third period. This is bobbled by the second baseman. He just gets it out in time. He's lucky that Brown's not too fast. The newspaper will come out on Tuesday, also at your local downtown retailers. If you're in Petaluma, you can also come to the school and pick one up in the office or the library, or if you have a student, your student would be, I bet, would be happy to bring one home. The catcher, Junior Gottschall, up to bat. Also a fantastic basketball player. He's on the Varsity Boys Basketball team this year. Key contributor to their success. High. 1-0. And this is out to left. It was an adventure last time. This one's an adventure too. It falls between 3 players, and the Greyhounds' defense has not looked impressive so far. And the Trojans have got Gottschall on now with 2 down, and they're going to reach the number 9 batter now, which will be Blake Burwer.
Now batting first baseman number 19, Blake Burwer.
What an adventure so far for the Healdsburg fielders. In the outfield, we saw them cost a run. Ooh, and that foul hits the catcher. And that's got to hurt. He's going to have to be checked out. The Greyhounds have now left 2 balls fall in the outfield, and they've both been sky high, and they just have not been able to find them. Meanwhile, that foul ball went off the hand of Levi Yelly, the catcher. He's now getting checked out by the Healdsburg trainer. Meanwhile, it's an 0-1 count as Burwer's at the plate, and Gottschall reached on an error. So far, Greyhounds are really costing themselves with the errors. You can tell this is a good ball club, but right now, certainly defense is a definite problem, and the Trojans right now are too good of a team and have too much momentum to pick on any mistake. Also, like to remind you to, as you can comment in the live chat, we have that. I'll be checking my computer to see if you have any comments. Please like this video, and if you subscribe, every time we go live, you'll get an email. You can also check out all of our other videos on Trojan Live. You can subscribe to the channel. You can also check out all of our daily morning announcements live, 8:30, 8:25 actually, every single morning. As you can see, the packed stands for the game, and a beautiful day. On the channel, we have all our daily morning announcements uploaded. You can check out tip of the day, all the news, the bulletin, wonderful feature stories, wonderful video on investigative crew on wood chips today, and everything else you know and love on our Trojan Live you can check out. And it looks like Yelly's been checked out with his finger, and he's doing all right, which is good to see. A few warm-up pitches will be done for Vasquez, the pitcher, and then Burr will get to come back up to bat, and here he comes. You can also check out we have exclusive feature stories on our YouTube channel. Check out that, plus every single live stream of all sports, so football, boys and girls basketball, and of course baseball and softball will be uploaded there. We also cover exclusive road games, and that hit the bat. That's a foul ball. That's crazy there. Burr just had his bat up, didn't really get out of the way of a ball thrown near his head, and it hit the back of his bat. So 0-2 now. Unlucky play there. So check out all of our sports videos on the Trojan Media channel. Would highly recommend it. That's low. And right behind me, and almost forgot that Gottschall was at first, who had reached on the air. He's now in scoring position. Well, that's going to be ruled a wild pitch. And that's low. 2-2. And now Gottschall's got to get back to second, which he barely does in time. Would like to remind you, or I'm not sure you know if you've been following Trojan baseball, Trojan's head coach, Jim Salvatella, is new this year. He was previously the JV coach at Casa, as that pitch is high, and we've got a payoff pitch coming up at 3-2. Coach Salvatella was a longtime JV baseball coach at Casa, but Coach Cochran, who was coached for a while here, the Trojans baseball team, is a swing and a miss, and the end of the inning by Burr. Coach Cochran retiring due to want to spend more time with his family, so Coach Salvatella has taken over, and so far he has done a wonderful job. It helped that Coach Cochran was able to help Coach Salvatella in the transition, as we send it back onto me and my wonderful set right here next to the PA announcer, who have luckily granted us some room right by the field, so that has been truly wonderful, and we have got all our equipment out. Thank you for Matthew Kalemba, our producer, for coming up and helping set up for our production today. That has been absolutely wonderful, and the Trojans will send Nick Andrikin back out to the mound as we head to the third inning, and Danny Marzo has certainly been the ace for the Trojans, but maybe Nick Andrikin can be another starter for them. Pitching depth would probably have to be one of the concerns for the Trojans. Another Coach Salvatella's echoed to me is base running, a little bit of a concern. So we will see how that is for the Trojans, but so far it's been wonderful, and they've really, against Sonoma, they got a 4-1 win against a good Dragons team using a lot of base running. We've already seen stealing to help just get those almost cheap runs, but those are how you win ball games. We see MLB teams do that all the time, and certainly it can be done even more so in high school baseball where mistakes are made. We currently have one viewer. We are live once again, so can encourage all your family and friends to tune in.
For the Hounds, first baseman number 2, Ethan McPherson.
Ethan McPherson, as the first pitch is in there for a ball. No, it's Evan McPherson, as the PA announcer corrects himself. That's outside. And first pitch was a strike. So 1-1 the count. You can see the scoreboard in your lower left-hand corner. Trojans are home, so they're on your left. You've got the innings in the middle. That one's just a little low, 2-1. And the Greyhounds are on the right with 0 and then balls and strikes outs, and whether it was a hit and an error are below it. And since scoreboard has laid down the bunt and then got rid, so 3-1. Field in memory of Coach Dan Fager, the longtime coach of Trojans and PE teacher, and that's a strike. So a full count to McPherson, another senior on the Hounds. Andrican has been in the zone. He's perfect so far. He's got a McPherson down. That's another strikeout for Gottschall. I believe that's his third. And the Trojans will throw it around the horn with one down. And this is Philip Helfrich. The Greyhounds had a rough start to their year, and they rough start scoring too, facing San Rafael, Cloverdale, Kelseyville. Only scored 3 runs and combined those games and fell, but they battled back. They've beaten Cloverdale, Middletown, Clear Lake, Lower Lake, St. Helena. Some smaller schools, but certainly it seemed like St. Helena, a strong school. 1-1 the count, and then are coming off a recent victory against Willits, but not a big scoring team. See a lot of, certainly they've been shut out a lot. They rely on their pitching, which has been good, as it's 1-2 now. Has been relatively good, just fielding mistakes of possibly in that first inning cost them both runs. No earned runs yet, as this is grounded right to the first baseman. I forget who that is. Steps on the bag. That would be Blake Berger at first. So let's get used to the positions, but have not announced enough baseball yet, though. However, we did cover the softball team and the baseball team's games against Sonoma on Tuesday, and we have almost finished editing all that coverage. That should be uploaded next week, so check that out with lot exclusive play-by-play by yours truly. First one's in there for a strike. And we'll continue to cover road games, and those will be uploaded. That's low, exclusive, not all of them. But certainly you can get your Petaluma baseball fill with Trojan Live. This is Johan Palaz for the Greyhounds. Swing and a miss there, 1-2. Andrew looks dominant. Just got a piece of it. Did Palaz. Certainly, Andrican also knows what his catcher's going through. He's the primary catcher for the Trojans. Gottschall the backup. So that certainly helps with the use to the pitcher-catcher relationship. One of the most important aspects in baseball. So this was a rather golfing foul that will head out into the blacktop. 1-2 to Palaz. Nobody on here and 2 down. Forgot there's a fence there. That was right back at me. And was quite scary, even though there's a fence right in front of me. Sort of forget. Bye, Theo. This is to the shortstop, Douglas. He's got to make a quick play. Palaz is fast, but he makes it. The Trojans have shown they're a strong defensive team, certainly so far, and they lead 2-0. We'll head to the bottom of the third after this. And Andrican is perfect so far. Please, once again, feel free to comment on the live chat. We have no comments right now, but we have one consistent viewer, so whoever you are, thank you. And as we head to the top of the fourth, we will take a look at the Trojans' upcoming schedule. So they have a full week off, and then next Friday, or is that Thursday? the 7th, a Thursday or Friday. Not sure. On the 7th, they will be facing Annalee, so that's going to be a big game. Most of these games are at 4, however, and the next day, which is a Saturday. So Friday against Annalee, it's possible I'll be out there covering that. We'll have to see. On the 8th, they'll be facing Ukiah again after they beat them in the AL Rabinovich tournament. That'll be a great test. That's Saturday night. And then they're going to be facing El Molino on the road the 11th. They are back home against Napa on the 12th. That's non-league. And the next league game is the 18th against Piner with LC Allen in the middle of that. And they are back to the top of the order. For the Trojans, it's Danny Marzo. The Trojans ace, but he's also great with the bat, and he's got a base hit there. And it's the second hit for the Trojans, who have certainly been helped by the early airs. Porter Slate, another alum of that Petaluma Little League World Series team, one of the stars on that team. That catches the inside corner for a base hit. Our girls lacrosse teams are also at home this evening. JV game at 5:30, JV game at 6, and varsity at 7:30. So if you are in the area and want to catch our girls lacrosse team at Steve Ellison Field, right over there, come and tune in. Now there's going to be many fabulous players that are going to be on the field. Our boys lacrosse teams up at Rancho, both teams early in their league season looking for some key wins. 0-2 to Slate with Marzo at first, and the Trojans have shown to be aggressive on the base pass so far. And this one is crushed by Slate. The right fielder going back. He scrambles around, but this time he makes the catch, and Marzo has to race back to first because it seemed uncertain whether the Greyhounds could make a catch in the outfield, but that was probably the hardest one of the three, and this time they made it up in the shadows and getting near the warning track. Slate just missed a home run there, but instead 1 out. And it is Logan Douglas and Slate going. The throw down to second. It's just in time. It was a good throw, but good speed by Porter Slate. And the Trojans continue this aggressive play on the base pass. Don't forget to stay tuned after the game. Exclusive interviews with players and possibly head coach Jim Salvatella. And that's a good play by the catcher of the Greyhounds, Lopez, to haul that one in, because that was a wild pitch, and that would have advanced Douglas to third. Sack fly could have scored him. That helps. That's high. 3-0 to Douglas. Another senior. 7 seniors on the Trojans. 11 returning players. That's in there. 3-1. Douglas was taking all the way. That one misses high. Tried to get the changeup in there, and now it's going to be first and second with Brandes to bat. The Trojans showing great patience at the bat, looking for their pitch, and so far they have been successful with that, but it hasn't been a bad pitching performance by Yelly. That's low. And now Yelly and Lopez are going to talk it over, and the manager is going to come out. So certainly got to be a higher pitch count. We'll see how much longer they want to keep him out there. But even though the Greyhounds really look like they've been outplayed, they're right in this game. So far, Andrican looks untouchable, but if the Trojans certainly falter there, the Greyhounds would be ready to pounce, and that would change things up. 11 returning players, yeah. 1-0 the count. Hi, Annika. It's going great. We're at to a 2-0 start. Scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first. As Brandis grounds one to second. The second baseman can't get it. Marzo hustling around. Here he comes in to score. And it will be Slate that gets the third. They'll have runners on the corners. Another run scores, and it is 3-0. That was a nice hit by Brandis after the conversation with the manager at the mound. And Andrikin, the pitcher, is looking absolutely wonderful so far. He's pitching a perfect game, actually. This is a very good team, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. Oh, no, it's all right. How's track going? They've got to meet tomorrow. And how is the team running? Pretty good? Do you feel like you have a chance to win SCL this year? Not that good. Hi, I'm Brianna. Are you watching in journalism? Are you watching the stream in journalism? Thanks. Not watching in journalism, but I thought they were. I told them to. Apparently, they don't like me as much as I thought. We have another conversation at the mound, 1-1. So the track team, maybe not SCL this year, but looking to do good things, right? Yeah. Ooh, definitely. This is a sky-high pop-up to left. That fielder already at once, but make it. However, it was Slate at third. Douglas at third. He comes home to score, and it is 4-0. 2 down, and Slate's at first. Yes, 7 of them were, so that even helps more with the experience. All right, have a nice weekend, Annika. Good luck in your track meet. Many talented runners, jumpers, throwers on the track meet. That ball, I think, hit off Slate when they tried to throw back. And making sure that Porter's all right, shaking it off. And this is popped up. The shortstop wandering over. The second baseman comes over to help. And that is the end of the third. But the Trojans strike for 2 more. Another nice performance by them with the bats. They lead 4-0, scoring on a sac fly and a big 1-out single by Slate. And we head to the fourth. Andrikin looking to maintain his perfect game. Well, considering journalism isn't watching, the one viewer is not them, it's someone else, so thank you for tuning in. But you may also be watching this game not live if you're watching later. That's certainly encouraged if you can't make it now. And we'll be doing that with road games, so you can watch later. Those will not be live. And our softball team, to update you on them, so far still looking for their first win of the season, but boy, have they had some tough games. They have had some tough games. They fell to Sonoma on Tuesday in extra innings. They were 90 feet away from scoring. It was actually, they had loaded the bases with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and a walk would have won it, and they needed 1 more ball, but instead it was a strikeout. Dragon scored in the 9th, and Sonoma got a victory there. The Trojans have a tie with Montgomery. They have a close loss to San Marin, and were blown out by Concord. So very small non-conference schedule. They head to a tournament in a few weeks. So it's been a rough start for them, but it's still a talented team. It's not as experienced as past, and it's certainly going to, with Sonoma probably the top team in the league, the Trojans are going to be, it's going to be tough this year to get another SEL title for the Trojans, who have won the SEL title for the last 7 consecutive years. But they certainly have the reserve and the mentality to turn it around. They have some very talented pitchers.
Top half of the 4th inning.
And top half of the 4th now. Jacob Pruitt for the Greyhounds. Swing and a miss there. Sun shines on Friday afternoon. This is what baseball is all about. Good luck. Those are some of our girls lacrosse players that are heading over to their match. That's low. 1-1 the count. An interview? Yeah, we can do. Oh, you? Not you. Hello. You gotta be, like, answer the questions, reasonable. This is foul. Third baseline, and the third base coach tries to make a catch. 1-1. All right. We are here with two freshmen. Would you like to say your names?
Johnny Guerra, Shavif Hoffman.
Not your real names. So you were on the freshman basketball team. How was that experience for you?
It was a great experience. Didn't win a whole lot of games, but when I watched Shavif play, it was amazing.
What are you hoping to accomplish as on basketball in the years to come?
Win the SCL, win that championship, get Shavif's autograph, maybe have a play date or something.
All right. And question for you, as a freshman, what? Oh, you're not on the soccer team.
No.
What have you enjoyed much about your first year at Petaluma High?
Michael Barabalt.
So friends. All right. Thank you guys so much. Friends. No. Go Trojans. Yeah. 1-2 is the count. Meanwhile, after that wonderful interview, you're welcome. You can check on, this is live on YouTube, so a lot of people just saw that. No, you're not going to be on Trojan Live. But a lot of people watching the live stream just saw that. Like about one. But that's okay. More people have probably turned in. Hope you enjoyed that interview with some of our students. The 1-2 pitch is low. 2-2 the count. Antrican battling here. And there is action in the pen. It's very far away from me. I don't have that good of an eyesight, even with my contacts in. That's low. 3-2. Fixing my mic. Sorry if it's any static. Payoff pitch. Foul. Bye, Liam. Good luck in your track meet. More of our wonderful athletes are streaming by the baseball field. Oh, you want to have an interview, Liam? No, it's all right. Only a few people are watching right now. No one can see you anyways. All right, we're here with Liam. As this one is lined up the middle, that's the first base hit for Healdsburg. The perfect game's broken up. All right, Liam, how has your experience on the high school track team been so far?
Wonderful.
And what's your favorite part about being on the track team?
The mile.
And what do you hope to accomplish and improve on?
My mile time
How do you do that?
by running faster.
You certainly elaborate a lot, Liam. Thank you so much. And Andrew gonna have to work out of the stretch for the first time in this game. And with someone warming up in the pen, especially with the perfect game over, it might not be too much longer for him. Hello, Lucy. 0-2 the pitch. Boy, do we have so many athletes here. It's amazing how many people I know. It really is. 1,300 students at Petaluma High. Healdsburg's actually much smaller, though we play in the same one. This is popped up. Gottschall's wondering where it is. And it's in center. I didn't know where it was either, nor did the first baseman. He gets back in time. Or the first base runner, that is, of Healdsburg. That was popped sky high. However, the man in center for the Trojans was there. And with one out, Levi Yelly, who's the catcher for the Greyhounds, trying to get something going for them as they finally have a base hit. And the runner will go. Meanwhile, it's hit right to Douglas. He can't get two because the runner went, but he'll go to first. Ooh, nice play by Burrer off the hop. Saw the Greyhounds unable to do that. The Trojans are just slick in the field. This is Jake Raffaini, second baseman for the Greyhounds.
Now batting second baseman, number 21, Jake Raffiani.
Raffiani. Little off on the names. That's inside. Greyhounds with a runner in scoring position, but Andrikin does not seem to be too phased so far. This is grounded to third. It's going to be a tough play for Richardson. The throw in time. They got him. And the fielding by the Trojans continues to be fantastic. Hello. Good luck. So 4-0. The Trojans have been absolutely outstanding in the field so far. Thank you so much for joining us. We're up to 2 viewers. Thank you so much once again on this wonderful Friday evening. Clearly we've seen a big difference between these two teams, and it's been fielding. The Trojans have made some wonderful plays in the field. Just one hit, but they've certainly been helped by the pitching of Nick Andrikin. The Greyhounds gave up 2 unearned runs in the first inning, and then the Trojans added 2 more in the third, so that helped. And this is a 7-inning game if you don't know high school baseball too much. We're in the bottom of the 4th, and 4-0, the Trojans lead, as they're going to hope to extend this lead. Certainly they continue to play with confidence, but in all facets of their game, and we always talk about improvements, where can you improve? Right now the Trojans are playing such good baseball, you don't know where. Max Preps currently ranks them as the 6th best team in NCS Division II. However, I wouldn't necessarily agree with those rankings looking at some of the teams there, including Ukiah and Redwood ahead, who the Trojans would beat, and Casas ahead, who obviously the Trojans would beat. I look at the Trojans as likely the 2nd best team in NCS Division II behind Powerhouse Northgate from East Bay. First pitch to freshman Sam Brown is outside. And 1-0 the count to Brown. So the Trojans, I think it's completely realistic that they could win NCS, and I can't tell you the last time that's happened. Petaluma Baseball is very prestigious. They've done a lot of great things over the years, but winning NCS is special. And that is something that's not out of the question this year. Especially the way they've been playing of late. Losing close games early. The way they play now, there's no close game. Center fielder drifting around will make the catch, and Healdsburg looks like they've stopped whatever was causing them to drop 2 pop-ups early. That Andrikin's up. That was Brown that flied out. Excuse me, Devin Gottschall, the batter, the junior. With 1 down here, we are early, or well, no, middle of the game here. And first pitch is high. Want to thank all the wonderful sponsors that have put up their banners on that back fence. This one is fouled to the catcher, comes on the fence, makes the catch, and falls into the fence. What a play by Levi Yelly, the catcher. There's some slick fielding by the Greyhounds who needed that. So it's now the number 9 hitter, Burrer. And this, the Greyhounds can get out of this inning 1-2-3 for the first time. That would install some confidence in them. SCL teams will play twice, once at home, once on the road. So the Trojans will be up at Rec Park for an evening game sometime later. Swing and a miss there. And that pitch is high to Burrer. Was on the Petaluma National Little League, but he played little. 2-1. The Greyhounds do believe that they can win SCL too, but they have looked outmatched early here, I think. This one's outside. Sonoma certainly gave the Trojans a good battle on Tuesday. The Trojans had to get some hard-nosed ball to get some runs across in the fourth. They had a 2-run fourth to extend it to 3-1. It was tied early, added on a late run, and that's a walk for Brewer. So they're going to get to the top of the order. And it's Marzo has, I don't know if he's out or he's been moved, but they have probably made the double switch here because it's now Austin Peretti in left. They're the new left fielder who's up to bat, also a basketball player. First pitch outside. So it was a hard-nosed victory, and Sonoma looks like a good ball team. That should challenge the Trojans, I think. This is chopped to the third baseman. Looked at second, throws the first. Inning over. Good inning there by the Greyhounds, and we will head to the fifth. It is 4-0 Trojans. Well, we did get up to 5 viewers, so I would like to thank everybody for that. If you are just tuning in, please like this video on Trojan Live here, because hopefully you're enjoying it. And if you're not, you can tell me in the live chat, or you can tell me anything in the live chat, as long as it's sensible. And also, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. You can get an email whenever we go live. And don't forget, once again, to check out all of our other videos on Trojan Live. And just fixing some things on here, but the bright sunshine, I can barely see my mouse. So, with the score 4-0, we head to the fifth. Coach Shelvatella making more changes. He's got such a deep bench. We could talk about many of the players on the Trojans that contribute that you have not even seen. Brown will be out. Gottschall will be out. David Hollett will come in at left, so Peretti's day is over. And Slate will be out. So a bunch of changes. Coach Shelvatella, and they did just get new uniforms the next game. They are purple pinstripes, which are quite lovely looking, I would say. And some nice white. And the first pitch is popped up, and it is, the catch is made in right by I believe that's Brown out in right. Oh, that is, no, I'm sorry, that's Bobby Miller out in right. 1 out. Pitch is inside to Martin. 1 another pitch. High. Andrew still pitching well and with plenty of power. Gottschall at the moment remaining behind the plate, but it sounded like Coach Shelvatella was going to be making some switches. That's in there for a strike. 2-1. Fast-moving game so far. This is fouled, and the on-deck batter almost made a nice snag. 2-2. And that, did he go? Yes, he did, says the first baseman. He went around. I believe that was the correct call. And now there's 1 down, or no, 2 down here in the fifth, and Andrew just keeps on rolling. And the Trojans might not need to use relief pitchers, though it's certainly not a concern considering they will have a bye next Tuesday, and then they do not play all the way till next Friday, a full week. Big game against Ravellanley on the road. Swing and a miss there by McPherson. And this is fouled somewhere into the concourse. 0-2, the count. freshman baseball team will be here tomorrow at 10. Swing and a miss there. And that's the end of the inning. McPherson strikes out, and Andrican just keeps on rolling. We will head on to the top of the sixth, a fast-moving ball game here, and the Trojans in full command of it, leading 4-0. And we've gotten many wonderful interviews from our some of our Trojan athletes that have walked by to update you on a few more spring sports. Our boys tennis team has had a wonderful season. They are currently sitting at 6-1 in SCL play. They play all the other teams in SCL 3 times, and will complete 2 rounds on Tuesday. Their only loss is to Sonoma Valley, who's been the dominant team in tennis in SCL. On Tuesday, they will play Sonoma here at home. That first game was on the road, and they had a narrow loss, 4-3. They will look for revenge, but it's a must-win game for them to win SCL. None of the other teams in SCL can really compete with either Sonoma or Petaluma, so the Trojans will need to beat Sonoma 2 times, and they will hold the SCL banner. But if Sonoma can get just 1, the Trojans would get second. It would still be a good accomplishment, but it would be a little bit disappointment after they also finish second to Sonoma. Last year, our boys golf team has remained undefeated on the season, so that has been very impressive. They are already going through their second round. They play each team twice, as David Hallett will be at bat, his first at bat. He's now at second, replacing Slate, and he rips the first one down the foul line, and the catch is made athletically behind the growing trees. That was in foul territory, so if he hadn't made the catch, it would have gone foul. Hallett's retired on 1 pitch. And this is Logan Douglas. It's 1 for 2. And he came around to score once. And that almost hit him. Our boys golf team, as I'm mentioning, were undefeated. They are already through 2 rounds, and they have really beaten everyone in their path. They look like, as long as they don't trip up, the heavy favorites to win SCL. And it would be the second, as that one's in there for a strike, it would be the second SCL title for the Trojans of iSports teams. The wrestling team won the SCL title for the first time in 15 years over winter. What a wrestling team they had. It was a wonderful team, and they squashed the competition, really. Only Sonoma could compete with them. The Trojans were too much good depth everywhere, too many good wrestlers. Great coaching by Trojan coaching. This is smashed to left. That's going to stay fair. And it's going to be Douglas who's going to come around, and he's going to trot on to second with a double. It's been a good game for Logan Douglas. And with 1 out, Trojans have got a runner on second, and Kempton Brandis, who is 0 for 3, up. And this is grounded diving play by the first baseman. He was able to get it to the second, but the throw by the second baseman is over the pitcher's head, and it will be Douglas that scores. By the time Brandis got back, he did not have time to go to second. He'll stay at first. A wild play that will likely be regarded as an error, and the Trojans add another one. Cole Tomei has come into the game. Hi, Bill. How are you doing? What happened with deadline? Extended. All right. Good luck in your girls lacrosse game. And thrown back to first. Got back in time. Another athlete walking by. 0-1 the count. Caught the outside corner. Cole Tomei, third baseman, very good fielder. And the crazy play, just to recite what happened, it bounced. The first baseman dived, got a piece of it, and it was able to get to the second baseman. The pitcher came over to cover, but the second baseman just rushed the throw. He probably would have gotten it time. It went over the first baseman's head. Or no, it went over the pitcher's head. And then that led Douglas to score from second. High, 2-1. Bradley Smith on deck. So the Trojans making a bunch of changes. And you could say, well, Coach Shelvatella feels like it's a win, just putting in reserves. But not really. These are Bradley Smith was the star, absolute star, undoubtedly, as this is fouled, of the Little Petaluma National Little League team that went to the World Series. And he's on the bench. Cole Tomei was the best fielder there. So depth is an amazing asset for the Trojans. They have places to go, injuries or whatever happens. Meanwhile, Tomei will strike out, looking, 2 down. And it is the massive Bradley Smith. Fortunately, they didn't give me his, I don't think I have his height, but I can tell you he's very tall. 6 foot something. And very big. And do not know his height, but it's something like 6'8". He was, I think, the 3rd tallest player at the Little World Series. They throw back to first where Brandis is. Gets back. One to notice Smith. And he's fouled. Brandis was going. And no, that's not fouled. That's going to be fair. And it is caught by the first baseman. End of the inning. However, the Trojans tack on another run with some more clutch hitting by them. It was Logan Douglas who had a double, and that helped the Trojans. And then it was a infield, I'm not sure if that was ruled an error, by Brandis. That scored Douglas, and the Trojans extend their lead 5-0. Nick Andrikin will continue to work, likely a pretty light pitch count out there as we head to the 6th. And the Trojans remain in command of this game. Continue updating on spring sports. With both the lacrosse teams who have games tonight, I mentioned, have struggled. Some changes making. Smith is at right. Bobby Miller's in right. So those are some of the changes. Where's Burr? Blake Burr's in a different position. I'm not sure where. So the lacrosse teams have both struggled. They played good non-conference schedule, and both the varsity teams with 1 win, but just their 2nd game of league play today, so they could certainly get back in the thick of things for league play. They hope to do that. Our track team has some very talented people. Neither team is going to win SCL this year, but Will and Jack Dunmar on boys distance, Sophie Hospital on girls distance, I know, have a chance to do good things. I'm not so knowledgeable about the sprinters, but I know Justin Santa won SCL with shot put. Did really well at NCS last year. He should only do very wonderful this year again. Philip Helfrich is leading it off. This is really slow. It's picked up by Richardson, and he makes the catch, or makes the throw in time. It's a good play from Richardson. That ball was just dying in the infield. But the Trojans continue. They're good fielding. And Gottschall is no longer catching. And it's True Overton behind the plate. So Andrikin gets to work with another catcher. Trojans with 3 catchers. Andrikin is the starter, but he's been close to perfect on the mound. Just 1 hit. Swing and a miss there. And that's low. It is Jesse Reese, the pitcher. Junior, 3rd baseman. Outside. 2-1. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live at Abbey Field. It's the Petaluma Trojan Varsity Boys Baseball team facing the Healdsburg Greyhounds in the 2nd game of SCL play. And that is low as the Trojans are 6-4, but they've won 4 straight games. They're 1-0 in league after defeating Sonoma, trying to get their 2nd victory, while Healdsburg 5-5 and looking for their 1st league victory in their 1st league game. This is ripped foul down the first baseline. 3-1 the count. And Andrikin has been brilliant. Bye, Sydney. Good luck tomorrow. 3-2 actually, full count. low, and first walk of the day for Andrican. So he's had good control, but pitch got getting up there, and there's more action in the pen for the Trojans. And I just saw the signal to hurry it up, which is a sign that would be coming out. If I could zoom in and get who's pitching, it's number 28. And there's a meeting at the mound, which I think means they're pretty much stalling. They'll be out. That's Devin Gottschall, I believe. No, it's not. I'm not sure who 28 actually is, because I do not have that number on my roster. Meanwhile, Coach Shelvatella, with as long as a possible, actually that's the pitching coach, with as long a possible conversation to get the man in the pen ready. The ump will have to break it up. Andrican looking pretty tired out there after giving up a walk, but boy, has he been terrific today. Meanwhile, for Healdsburg, it's the third baseman, Jacob Pruitt. Pruitt has the only hit for the Greyhounds. But Andrican will have to pitch out of the stretch once again after the walk. And this is outside. Andrican gave the runner a look. And it was a good stop by Overton to make the catch. It looks like work in the pen might be done. And it's just a matter of this batter probably, and Andrican's day will be done. But it will be a fabulous day, and I will certainly trust in his managers that he can be a reliable starting pitcher. Trojans, not really sure who's second behind Marzo. Berber, it's been an option. Tried out a variety of different relievers. Connor Richardson. 2-0. Andrican definitely looking like he's getting a little tired, losing a little bit of that control. That's low, rolling to the dugout, and now it's going to be the runner at second, or runner at first, who's going to go to second. That's Raffini, I believe. Just a low pitch there, 3-0. And Andrican looks like he's finally came to that cliff, and he's starting to fall off. That's in there, just barely. 3-1, the count. Light breeze continuing to blow. You can see the American flag in the back, but clouds have largely gone away. It's supposed to be a warm weekend here in Petaluma. That misses, and Andrican's lost his sense of control. And Coach Shelvatella is making a beeline for the mound after a fantastic day for Nick Andrican. He ran out of steam. He is normally a reliever, but 5 innings, 4 1/3 is more than enough to help the Trojans, who lead 5-0. He pitches 4 1/3, allowing no earned runs, though he's responsible for both runners at first and second, so that book is not closed yet. And as he comes off the mound, he will get an ovation from his teammates and the fans, and allowing just 1 hit, 2 walks. A great outing for him. And taking the mound for the Trojans is, I will have to wait who it is. It's going to be Jacob Duda, who is exclusively a pitcher, Jake Duda, and that's really his only responsibility out there to pitch a reliever, and that's always a position that you want on a team, and Duca fits that mold perfectly. And making sure that camera works. Nope, it turned off. We'll fix the camera on me as Duca continues to warm up. There's more changes for Coach Shelvatella coming. That's not charging. Well, the camera on me has died. We will see if we have a charger for it, or that will do it for that camera. Meanwhile, Trojans in command with the pitching change as they head to their bullpen, which has been a little iffy this season, but more recently they have to be happy with the recent performance. And now, we're working in a tough spot for Duca. Will come on with a runner on first and second. Andrican ran out of steam, but he has to be proud of his performance.
Pitcher number 4, A.J. Vasquez.
He wants A.J. Vasquez. He's been the starting pitcher for Healdsburg. Up and down game for him, but we'll have to blame some of it on his defense. Shows the bunt and gets a good bunt down. Throw to first is not in time. That was a perfect bunt. Duca couldn't get it. And the bases are loaded, and this is a chance right now for Healdsburg to get back in this game. The bunt could have not been more perfect by the pitcher Vasquez, and Greyhounds are playing their small ball. Haven't gotten a hit, but they've loaded the bases. And it's a big, big spot for Levi Yelly, the catcher. This is crushed, the first pitch. It's the left fielder going back at the wall. Grand slam for Healdsburg, and they're back at this ball game. Over the fence, into the track. That's 312 feet, and it was more. Absolutely crushed by Yelly. That's the last thing you wanted from Duca. And just like that, by giving up just 2 hits in this game, all the hard work the Trojans have done, and they're just down 1 run, and Healdsburg is feeling good. What a change that is. That was absolutely crushed by absolutely crushed by Levi Yelly. And the Greyhounds, after showing no resistance to Andrican, jump on the first pitch that they do not bunt at from Duca. Absolutely crushed to the one of the farthest parts in the ballpark. Only center is farther, way out there in the triangle. That has to be about 325, but 300 only on the left field fence until it bends back. 0-1. Swing and a miss by Raffini, the second baseman. 0-2 the count. Overton still catching. That was a nice change-up, so it's grounded over to first. Smith makes the catch, and there's 2 down in the inning. Well, what a difference one pitch can make.
Center fielder number 24,
Shane Wittick, who's the shortstop for the Hounds. And the Greyhounds dugout making noise. The Trojans were completely in command of this game, hitting, pitching, running, fielding. But Andrican gets tired, gets 2 walks. Didn't get him out there soon enough. A perfect bunt, and then a blast by Yelly. Only the second hit of the day, and with just 2 hits, the Greyhounds now have 4 runs. That's a swing and a miss there on the ball in the dirt by the sophomore Wittick. 0-2. Duca seems to not be unnerved by giving up the huge grand slam. That ball dies in the dirt, and you could see a very effective changeup by Duca. One and 2. Swing and a miss. So luckily for the Trojans, Duca was not unnerved at all by giving up the biggest hit of the game, and the Trojans still are not out of this one, as it's 5-4. However, we have a ball game again after it looks like the Trojans were in command, and they're going to have to get their bats going. Vasquez, I believe, remains at the mound. He's been up and down, but recently he has been pitching better. We have lost the camera on me with no chance of getting it back, so you're not going to be seeing me much anymore. But anyways, the Trojans will head to the bottom of the 6th here. Greyhounds will still need to add another run in the 7th, but the Trojans would love to make that a little easier for Duca. And up and down viewers, but we stayed pretty consistent at 1. So thank you to all of you who have tuned in and made this a wonderful first live stream of baseball. So bottom out of 6, it'll be Bobby Miller, who's the right fielder recently entered, also on the football team. First pitch is hit to the gap between first and second. Miller is on, and that's the way the Trojans want to start after feeling down. And now it's going to be the freshman Sam Brown to try to get the Trojans to extend that lead and not make it a very tight situation for Duca. Throw back to Miller. He's back safely. That's in there for a strike. 0-1, the freshman Brown, who's not reached base yet today. 0 for 4. And showed bunt, then went back, and it's a long way back for Miller. They got him! Miller ventured too far off the base, and it was a beautiful throw and an even better tag. And now there's 1 down. So now 1 out, and the 1-1 pitch. Low. Two 1 is grounded to second and over to first, and that will be 2 down. So it's been an impressive performance by Vasquez, who gave up a run in the 5th, gave up 2 in the 4th, gave up 2 in the 1st, though the first have not been earned. It was 2 in the 3rd, actually, none in the 4th. So it's been up and down. He hasn't really been able to get too many clean innings, but a running mistake there by Miller. And now it's possible that it's going to be a very tight situation, and there's plenty of action in the bullpen, so we'll see if the Trojans go with Duca or they try to go with a closer, possibly Richardson, who's been in that role, but they haven't totally defined it yet. Still sort of early in this season, 1-1. To Burger, bottom of the lineup. That one's in there tight, 2-1. Top of the order on deck with Peretti. If the Trojans get some more runners on here, they have to be happy with an offense. This is blasted up. Is it the center fielder or the left fielder? It's the center fielder who makes not an easy-looking catch in the sun, but the fielding has mostly been good for the Greyhounds after that first inning where they had 2 errors that resulted in 2 runs. And the Trojans are going to have to try to close it out at the 7th, winning 5-4 in a very tight game. All the Greyhounds need is 1. And it will not be Duda. Matthias Lipsy will head to the mound and will look for the save. So it's going to be a dramatic ending here.
Pitcher is number 13,
Matthias Lipsy is senior, and also another person just exclusively in that pitcher role. And he's going to be in a big spot here. And he's actually the teacher advisor of my English class. So know him well, a very nice young man. In a big spot on the pitching mound, which was Arguably a coaching mistake, but don't want to blame it on anybody. Andrikin gave up 2 walks late when it was, it was not clear he was tired, and it was interesting because he was rolling along in the 5th, 1-2-3 inning there, got into the 6th, walked the first batter. They had a conversation, obviously seeing that he was tired, but they did not have Duda ready in the pen in time, and with 2 runners on, they got a good bunt laid down, loaded the bases, though obviously you expect your relievers to go in there, do their job, and Duda gives up a grand slam. He did well after that. But now, it's all on Lipsy to close it out. For Healdsburg, Spencer Martin will try to get what would probably be a season-defining victory or a turnaround. It's not, they haven't had a bad season, but this would be one to remember for the Greyhounds if they could find a way to come back here. First one is outside to the sophomore and third baseman Martin. Small 5'9" speedy player. Low, and Lipsy still looking for the strike zone early. Overton behind the plate. It's Burr at third. And it's chopped to Burr, who dives. It's past them. And the Greyhounds are on the board. A good hit there down the line. Burr died, but he couldn't find it. And now the Greyhounds are on. The tying run is on the bases. And the winning run is at the plate. And now Lipsy will quickly have to go out of the stretch. Certainly everything has changed. The Greyhounds' whole demeanor and body language. They certainly look down after being down 5-0 as this is thrown back, and Greyhounds get back safely. It's Liam Lopez. No, I'm sorry. Johan Palaz, the batter. The left fielder, I believe. That one misses. Healdsburg was certainly down 5-0, even though they got the bases loaded. Maybe a little excitement, but knowing you're probably not getting back in the game unless something special happens, and it did. High. 2-0. And a speedy runner at first. Lipsy certainly will be aware of him. That misses, and Lipsy has not found a strike yet. Martin over at first, and showed the bunt, pulled it back, and that's in there for a strike. 3-1. An action in the pen, but they're all walking in right now, so we'll see if Lipsy's going to come out. Certainly probably depends on what happens with this batter. Throw back, Martin back safely. That's in there for a strike. And it's a full count to McPherson. Sorry, it was McPherson, not the batter. I said it was someone else. Evan McPherson, senior, will send this one up. It is caught by Hollett at second. And one down here. That was certainly the pitch that Lipsy wanted. Got the pop-up. And the Trojans are 2 outs away from surviving against the Greyhounds. Comeback. It is this is a bunt. It's laid down. Lipsy gets to it, and he's got the out at first. However, Martin advances to second. That was Philip Helfrich with the solid bunt, not as good as Vasquez, who laid down the perfect bunt to load the bases before the grand slam. However, there's 2 down, and Lipsy can get out of it. But the tying run at second, there's going to be a change with the big at-bat. They're waiting to see who it is. certainly the Trojans outfielders coming on a little bit. They are not going to want to allow this run. This is Johan Pelaez, who does not have a hit in this ball game. But the Greyhounds need him to get one now. The pitch is high, and it's 1-0. Lipsy trying to close this game out and get the Trojans 2-0 in SCL. Swing and a miss there. 1-1 the count. Trojans would move to 2-0 if they could get the victory. 7-5 on the season and continue to build momentum. They would face really the three best teams in their first games at SCL, and they would face Antler. If they can get a clean sweep, they have to feel confident. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2, and Lipsy is a strike away here. Looked a little shaky at first, allowing a walk, allowing a base hit, and then almost allowing a walk, but he's gone back. That is high and tight. Good take by Palaz. 2-2. Swing and a miss. That will do it. And the Trojans have gotten a victory. Boy, did it get scary early. Don't forget to stay right here. We have interviews coming up next with the players and head coach Jim Salvatella. They hold on to the Trojans for 5-4, 2-0 in SCL. The grand slam by Yelly changed everything, and this game will look a lot closer than it was for most of the game. I just turned off the camera that you were watching on, so I apologize for that. There, you'll get it back in a minute. Apparently fist bumps are the new high five, too. So we will be talking with some of the players of the game. Stick right with us as we will be getting interviews. Do not go anywhere. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we will talk with head coach Jim Salvatella, who's always an absolutely wonderful interview, so you won't want to miss that. And then we will also be talking with at least one player, if not more, for certainly an interesting game for the Trojans. They looked in command. They looked very good. A grand slam made this game a little closer than the Trojans would have liked. Don't forget to tune into our next live stream. That will be soon, as in maybe 2 weeks. Really not soon. But we will certainly let you know when that is. And we will also be doing softball, so don't forget to check out our softball team. They are improving, and they are still a talented team. They have a lot of talented players. Meanwhile, the baseball team will get the whole week off for practicing. So they will certainly treasure that. And for now, though, they will have to learn from this, almost giving this game away to a Greyhound team that they certainly seem much the superior, which is good news because the Greyhounds were expected to challenge the Trojans, but at the moment that is not looking like something that would happen in this game until the Trojans got it away from them. But luckily a close win. They've dropped some close games earlier in the season, so this would really be their first close win, though the game was not necessarily close for the whole game. And team is still huddled out in the field, and then we will head over and talk with them. So stick right with us. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been an absolute pleasure. And don't forget to tune in again. Don't forget to watch all of our wonderful stuff on Trojan Live over the course of the game. And next Monday, we will have Trojan Live back up again. Also, if you want to come out and watch our girls lacrosse teams, they are going to start up their play at Ellison Field real soon. I'm trying to get the camera onto the field, but I don't think it's a realistic possibility. And I'm almost kicking it over. So thank you for joining us. It went off. Great. Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
It was, yes. It's on YouTube, Trojan Media. Long talk by Coach Shelvatelli. He's done a great job. Could argue if they should have taken out Andrew Kidd a little bit earlier in this ball game. Nonetheless, happy, I think, overall with the performance, especially Nick Andrikin. What a great pitching performance. Some clutch hitting, too, early in this game. They benefited off, certainly, some errors. They'll take the victory. 5-4, the final. Stick right with us once again. Interviews are coming up. And we will be talking with some players. Is this it? Yes. Trojan season will conclude in May. It started all the way back in February, a long season that will be wrapped up very soon. Thank you so much. Many of our Trojan supporters were in the stands today. Great community, always coming out to these ball games for the game. Testing. Trojans also have many other coach, pitching coach, hitting coach, about 4 assistants. We are all the way up to 3 viewers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're going to get interviews with players so soon, so please do not go anywhere. We are going to hope that that mic works, but I cannot guarantee that it will.
All right. You were probably unable to hear any of that. Somehow we have 3 viewers watching through silence. Really apologize, but we will be getting at least 2. Not sure I'm going to be able to get the Logan Douglas interview, but we will certainly be getting the Matthias Lipsy and the manager interview coming up very soon. It's been a wonderful first baseball live stream. Trojans get the victory 5-4, and for everybody here at Trojan Live, thank you for Matthew for coming up. Thank you for the whole team, for the PA announcer for getting some space. The Trojans get victory 5-4. We'll be having more live streams soon. We'll be announcing those. I'm Griffin Epstein. Have a wonderful evening. So long.